All right. I'm hoping you guys are hearing me okay, I think. Hold on. That camera has frozen. Has frozen. Hold on. We may have to. Oh, technical difficulties. Always kind of happening, you know? So the hope is now that this is functioning. I think we're functioning. I think it's because I had it set up and I had a few minutes left to try. And then, of course, my computer went to sleep. So I think I'm going to have to make sure that when I am going to be scheduling a live, that I tell my computer not to go to sleep at all, because that could be an issue. Could be an issue. All right, so we are here testing this, and we are using the Synido. I hope I'm saying that right. Synido. This is their LiveMix Studio, and it is a microphone setup that I tried, or we did a unboxing for and a test this morning. Bonus of this, I find bonus of this microphone is that it's for one, it's XLR, which is nice. Plus the actual little mixer box. I guess it's a little mixer box, fairly small, but it's got good LED indicators, like little light indicators. It's got 48-volt phantom, so you know it has this microphone right now, which is fun. But it's also allows me down the road if I want to try out one of my other XLRs. Now they do make a LiveMix Duo or Duet. I can't remember. I'm just going to say hello, everyone. That you can get too. So I think if I was myself going to be buying one of these, of course this one was sent to us by Synido. If I was actually going to be purchasing one of these, I would definitely look at the Duo or Duet, because of the fact that I'd want that future proofing a little bit more, that upgradability a little bit more. But for something that's just, you know, like gives you phantom power, which is awesome. If you never ever expect yourself to want to have a second person in your podcast, your live, your recordings, whatever, then I think the Solo would be fine. But you know what? For that, probably, I don't know the exact price, but probably that just a little bit more, that you would pay for the Duo, or again Duet, whatever, the 2 XLRs I think it is. I would probably go that route, so that, you know what, all you have to do is have one more mic and you're good to go. Now this one does have the ability to put a 1/4 inch input in it, but I do believe the 1/4 inch, I think it can do a microphone. So if you had a 1/4 inch style microphone, you could do, or if you wanted to plug in like a guitar or something like that. So my hope is, and again, I don't know if this is something that I'm going to use a lot, this one here, because there are some other mixing boards and setups that I kind of have that I want to try, because I like to have that flexibility to be able to manipulate possibly some of the audio and things like that. I think this would be great for my daughter, who may actually look at doing some kind of possible recording. She is into singing, she likes to play guitar, etc., etc. And I think something small like this, where she can have the microphone, she can plug her guitar in, and she can just kind of record into whatever app you're using. You know, she could use, she's on a Mac, of course, so she could be using GarageBand, or, you know, you could be using like Ableton Live or any of those other audio mixing apps that are out there right now. So I think it would be good. Hi Greg. Hi Rick. I said hi Greg because I'm reading it, but hi Rick. Yeah, today's video is not going to be as long as some of the other ones, because of course I'm pretty sure I've got everything set up the way this setup can be set up with this microphone. Now, one of the things, for those that watched the video that came out, I can't remember if it was yesterday, the day before, I can't remember. Yeah, you can plug an instrument. Yeah, it actually has on this one. If you look at the front of the mixer, I'd bring it over, but it's kind of just off to the side here. But there is an XLR in for the microphone that comes with it, which is sweet. And then it has a 1/4 inch, and it literally has an emblem underneath it, which has like the quarter inch jack with a picture of a guitar. So my guess would be if you had an electric guitar or something like that, it probably would be, you can turn on power just like you would turn on power, phantom power for an XLR microphone. It allows you to turn power on to be able to amplify the guitar input. So that could be actually really cool. It also has like an adjustment knob for that track. Now, the one thing I don't know, but my feeling would be, is that like a lot of mixing boards that are in this kind of price point, the system only sees it as a single input, right? So if you are going to be having 2 different devices plugged in, like a mic or 2 mics, or a mic and a guitar or whatever it is, even when it gets recorded into the system, you're only going to see it as a single stream. Now, I think you need a much pricier, much more expensive setup to allow the inputs that come off of all the different channels on a mixing board to come in as independent channels. So as far as I know with this one, it's only going to see it as 1 unit. It's just what it is, right? Boom, 1 unit, off you go. Guitar and synth, yeah, it could be synth. Again, I think anything that kind of comes in with a quarter inch jack, right? So I think it's good. It also has like a headphone jack on it. So again, you can plug in like pro level headphones or anything like that into it if you want. And on the rear of it, the unit, of course, it has a USB-C out. So that's what's actually going into the computer. So USB-C, you can go USB-C to USB-C or USB-C to USB-A, it doesn't really matter. As well as it has a right and a left output channel. So if you're sending out to speakers, monitors, etc., something like that, you can just have it send straight out. So no kind of lag, I guess, when it's coming into your computer, and you should be good, right? Live out amp stereo in it for stereo stream. Yeah, see, I'm not 100% sure. I'm guessing, I would think that it would have, what does it say here? So it says on it, the little switch says you can have it as a line or instrument. Line or instrument. So that's an in, right? So it's a line or instrument. So my thought would be, yeah, if you actually had anything, an MP3 player, possibly, right? Your phone, you could probably plug it straight into that, and as long as the device knows that it's a line, because I would think, and again, I'm not an audio person by any means, I would think that they have different levels that come into them, and I know that certain devices that plug in, it needs to know what kind of device it is, or else it'll peak really bad because it's just way too much power coming through. So it does have a switch for that, so that's kind of nice. And it has a headphone jack, so I would think you'd be able to monitor that. Now the headphone jack, the out says stereo mix, or it says stereo mix or USB. So again, I'm not 100% sure, stereo mix or USB. I have mine set to stereo. My guess would be how it's mixing those 2 channels, possibly. I wish I could tell you more, right? I wish I could tell you more in regards to that. Anyways, I was kind of talking about the microphone that we were testing the other day, which was the ZL Sound. I think that's what it's called, the K66, versus this little setup. Definitely, this is a much more expensive setup for sure, right? But it's a lot more future-proofable, you know. Plus, you can use much better microphones if you have them already, or this one here. And I did some recording earlier on this morning with this, just to test to make sure it was working. And the one thing I have to say that I like about this microphone over the other microphone is that I think, at least in my opinion, it has a much richer, like low end sound. So it's got a much, right. The other one had, it wasn't a bad mic by any means, but in my opinion, it would have favored going through some equalization, an equalizer, something to kind of really fine tune it, which, you know, most of us would do if we were recording from them. But I think this one right now, just that low end is nicer. So for doing a live, I do think it sounds just better overall, right? So you just get a nicer, more pleasant sound. Now, this is a mic that you can, of course, have it set up like it is here on the table, or and I'll spin it around here. Well, not spin it around, but just transition so you guys can see it, right? So, you know, the actual mixer is over here, and then I have my XLR that comes in here. Now, you could, if you had like a scissor arm or something like that, you could take this, and it is something that I want to get, is a scissor arm, something that I can mount it either up on top of the TV here so that I can have the mic kind of come down forward so that it kind of comes into the shot, or I can have it set off to the side so I can kind of move it around and move it back. I'm not 100% sure, but that is, once I choose the mic that I want to go with, once I'm like, this is it, this is the one I'm using, and then I'll kind of figure out mounting solutions for it. I was thinking this would be fine, a table, because a lot of people use like a tabletop mounting system, which is fine. I don't know if I'm a fan of them. I like having it out and about, because again, yesterday when I was, or the day before, sorry, when I was doing the stream testing that other microphone, I was drinking just a thing of water, and every time I put the tape or the mug down on the table, the microphone definitely heard it, right? It was like a big thump, right? And I think it's because, for one, that style of microphone doesn't have any kind of, really doesn't have any kind of shock mount or anything like that, where it kind of pulls the vibrations and that kind of sound out of the microphone. This has a shock mount, right? This has a shock mount. I'll just kind of spin it a little bit here. You guys can see that, right? It does have a nice shock mount in there, so it does have that. Of course, you want it this way because you have to talk into like this would be considered the front, and this is the side that actually has like their logo and everything on it. So you talk in here, because as you can see, when you talk in here, you don't really hear anything, or you hear very little, versus here where this is what it's supposed to be. If you stream a game surround, so I am going to come back online tonight, later on. It is 2:15 my time here today, and my wife has booked a bowling alley for us. So the family's going out bowling today, sometime around 3 or so. Yeah, we're going bowling. Yep, because that's what you do in a small town, I guess. So once we get back from that, either before or after I have dinner, we are going to, or I am going to do another stream tonight where I'm going to play a game. And I think because it is going to be leaving Xbox Game Pass on my trusty Xbox One S over here, I have downloaded. What game are you going to play? I have downloaded, and I'm going to play Guardians of the Galaxy, because it is leaving Game Pass tonight. Not tonight. It's leaving Game Pass, I think, on the 15th or something like that. So I wanted to be able to try it on this system, because I have played it on both our Series S and I've played it on our Series X, and they both ran smooth 95% of the time. There was definitely some areas, and I don't know why or what caused it, that game just, it had brutal stutter for certain sections, and there would have been like so many things on the screen, so it's kind of understandable. But one of the first games in a long time, actually, that I played and finished. I want to see it on this console before it leaves, because I don't own it, of course, it's part of Game Pass. So I wanted to see what it looked like, so that you guys out there, if you're like, you know what, it is a game that on occasion does go on sale now. So if you haven't played it on Game Pass, or if you're on a older Xbox, or you're on a PS4, just Xbox be an Xbox. Oh yeah, it is. Then you can take a look at the graphics and be like, oh, it still looks pretty. It's funny because I was talking the other day when I did my first game stream about monetization, and streaming a game, it's fine. Xbox is like, yeah, well, have at it, right? The issue is so many games nowadays have copyrighted audio in them, and I have a feeling Guardians of the Galaxy is going to definitely be one of those, because it is just filled with like old 80s and 90s music, stuff like that. So I have a feeling I'll play for like a half hour or so, probably, just so you guys can see the intro in the first couple levels, or first level, but I won't go too crazy, because I think it's kind of cool to do like a first 20 minutes or first 30 minutes of gameplay for anybody who's interested in the game. I'm not going to be doing walkthroughs because I'm not that good, and I may even say the first 20 to 30 minutes and then not be that, because there's a pretty good chance that I die quick. Yeah. Hi Greg, good morning. Enjoying your streaming setup series. Cheers, Dave. Thanks. Now, as a follow-up to this video, Monday, I have a set of in-ear monitors with a mic that I'm curious to test. Now, I do think that setup is probably going to be the best setup in regards to sound quality, like microphone quality. But is it also one of those things, like the nice thing about having a mic like this, honestly, is the fact that you don't have anything in your ears, right? It's just your ears can feel free to do as they do, you know? Hi, Arafat. I had another one. Rick, what did he say? Here in Quebec City, we call a dalo when the ball won't go well. Rick, binaural audio. Binaural, yeah, binaural. See, I know that word, binaural, because I do contract work for a company that works with sound and ear testing. So they use that binaural a lot. Anyways, again, I didn't want this video to be too long today. Can you do another stream of you gaming later on today? And the answer, Arafat, is yes, I will be doing it. What time? I don't know. My guess will be sometime in and around dinner time here. Me and the family are going out this afternoon. It is almost 20 after 2 here right now. I am going to ask those of you that are currently listening, how does this mic sound? Does it sound any better or worse or the same, or can you even remember than the mic that we tested 2 days ago, which was the K66 mic? I'm going to switch like this just because it's exciting to switch to another view. Because right now, from my testing that I did earlier on today, so I did this about a half hour before the stream started, I thought this one did sound better. I thought this one sounded better. Again, my issue is just placement, but I kind of don't mind this right here, because if I am gaming or anything like that, it's not obtrusive to the screen, which is fantastic, because that's what we want. And my last question before I leave you all adieu for today. How are the cameras looking? Right, ZV-1 looking good. Right, I got that via the HDMI. I think it looks good. And this is my ZV-1F over here, which is getting a wide shot, only 720p, but coming through USB-C. So again, I think that should be okay. This mic sounds even better than the last one. I think it does too. I think so too. So right now, the other one came in, if I'm correct, I think between $40 and $50 Canadian, whatever that converts to, you know, the audio that, or the currency that you're using. This though, microphone and the little tiny mixer, Watch the video that I brought out this morning if you want to know more about it, because I can't necessarily remember. Because here's something for you guys. The video that came out this morning was filmed probably a good week and a half ago. So it gives me some time to play around with it before I do the live to make sure that things are working, which is kind of insight for you. And I always try to have at least a week's full of videos in queue for YouTube, because of the fact that if something goes wrong, I get sick, or we have to go away, or whatever it is, there's videos for you guys. So it's kind of important. Great cam, but will be better tonight. Great cam, but will be better tonight. Be better tonight because there's going to be games happening. Oh, and somebody asked a question about, because there was a little bit of an echo in the last game that we played. But for some reason, I think that echo is part of the game. I was playing it earlier on today just to kind of see, and I really was just kind of focusing on the sound. And I don't know if it's maybe in this room, because like I have, you guys can probably see it back here, right? I have sound treatment on this, and it was because when I was using this computer over here, of course, and I still use this computer a lot over here for doing audio recordings for like contract work, which is what I use this mic and all that for. But I think maybe being over here, because there's no like sound panels or anything behind the TV or anything on this wall over here, I may be getting a little bit of, just a tiny bit of echo, which means that I may need to get some more sound panels and put them over here, possibly. That may help it, because right now, of course, I have a speaker down here. You guys maybe, well, you guys can't necessarily see it, but it's right underneath the TV here, just a sound bar. And when I was playing it this morning, I was really focusing. I was like, it is a little tiny bit echoey, all by its lonesome. So I may need some sound treatment in this room. It is what it is, right? Cam 2 window sunlight, totally agree. So that window right there, that lovely fella right there. It's funny because I like it, because as you guys can see, I get this nice little, like almost like a rim light right there, which I kind of like. I do. I'm gonna say I like it, but I think this light here is giving me that. What I may do here on this one is I may get a, I don't know, a photo or blinds or something to just cover it up. But at night it doesn't matter, right? At night it doesn't matter. Now the other bonus, of course, with shooting at night is I can really control the light in here, just really darken out the back, right? So that we have focus, real focus. So I think that'll be fun for streaming. All right, guys, I told you I wasn't going to hit the half-hour mark, and I'm awful close to it. Anyways, that's it for me. I'm going to let this encode, and I think that's it. We're gonna call it quit. Thanks for you guys. I will put up a little, like, we're going to be streaming at X time, whatever it is, tonight, once I figure out what time we're going to be playing some games. And that's it. What is that? Big old beard ATVers poster that will cover it. Hey, so for those of you that come here, I'll do some advertising for you, my friend. Bearded ATVers. For those of you that come here on occasion and have watched some of my little ATV videos, because I'm just getting good at it, and Bearded ATVers has got some awesome stuff on his. He's actually one of the guys that I fire a lot of questions to when I was looking for my ATV, and he was super helpful in answering them. Plus he doesn't live far from me, not too far, a couple of hours. And we're going to be going on June 3rd to like an ATV rally, and he's going to take me out and show me how to get really muddy. Now, as far as ATVing, there is a video coming up, because I went out yesterday. Yep, yesterday on the ATV, and I almost dumped it sideways into water. I don't know. I thought it was a shallow puddle, but I was wrong. I tried to go up the side of it, and I was doing good. I got up close like this, and then I was on ice, because I didn't think it was deep, and the ice broke, and I just went, boosh. That's the sound. Boosh. And I was like, what is happening? And in my head, because it's never happened before, I was like, I'm going to have to leave this here till the spring. But luckily I was with somebody, and we got the winches out, and we were able to pull it out. But yeah, I'm not used to that. That doesn't happen on a motorcycle when I'm riding on the street. No, no, no. So my friend Bearded ATVers, you'd be proud of me, I think, for one, for getting it out. Two, for being stupid enough to go for it when I probably should have not, and went up and tested it, got a stick or something, and just to figure out how deep it was or how soft it was, because that would have been smarter. Okay, now I'm done. Be ready for that. And if you are interested in ATV stuff, head on over to my buddy's channel. He's got some cool stuff. I know he's going to have more come spring. All right, guys, I have to get ready to go bowling. Thanks, Rick. Hopefully you guys should join me tonight, and I should get panels. Yeah, and I have panels in the other room, but I may order another set of them just to put here. But panels are not inexpensive by any means. All right, my friends, can't wait to watch the video, and no better way to get experience. True, because it was a little scary. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you there. Hopefully I can talk to some of you guys tonight. Later. I'm going bowling.